Alright guys, how's it going? It's Gaz here on Full Time Devils. It's time for MUFC Daily, where we talk about all the latest Manchester United news and Manchester United fan opinions. Now let's go straight into this and talk about a story about one of our most legendary strikers, arguably. Ruud Van Nistelrooy has got a job at PSV. He's the coach of the youngsters and the reserve team. He was, of course, the Dutch national team assistant coach, so this is a good job for Ruud Van Nistelrooy going forward. I'm sure he has ambitions to become a manager, so well done Ruud Van Nistelrooy for bagging that job. And if you put this into the context of Manchester United nowadays as well, it sort of got me thinking. I mean, there are rumours suggesting that Ryan Giggs could potentially be off if he doesn't get the manager's job after Louis van Gaal, potentially in the summer. And it sort of makes those sound even more ridiculous, really, doesn't it? Because, I mean, Ryan Giggs, imagine him leaving because he's not got the manager's job when he's not even been an assistant manager that long. It takes a lot longer to train to become a manager. And it looks like Ruud Van Nistelrooy is going down the long route, which will eventually be the best route. Look, Ryan, hang on a little bit and you'll probably be a great manager. But if you rush into things too much, which it looks like he's trying to do, then it could just fall flat on its face and potentially ruin your Man United legacy. Ruud looks like he's got it right. Maybe Giggs should take a leaf out of Van Nistelrooy's book. Anyway, moving on from that, and let's talk about another youngster that we potentially could have signed. It's Matthew Knox. He plays for Livingston, 16 years old. There was a lot of clubs interested in him. Liverpool, Everton and Spurs and us as well went in for him on deadline day. His dad said that he eventually decided to stay at Livingston, but it looks like with the interest that's gone about for him, it looks like he's definitely going to be playing in the Premier League one day. So make sure you keep your eye out on that name, Matthew Knox. That's Knox. Could potentially be a good Premier League player one day. He was on trial at Man United as well, where apparently he scored a wicked goal past Victor Valdez. Some would argue that that's not that difficult. Anyway, moving on from that, and let's talk about, we've got to talk about, haven't we really? Gary Neville last night, his Valencia side lost to Barcelona 7-0. 7-0. That's what score they lost to Barcelona last night. A few Spanish publications obviously claiming, that maybe he should get sacked, maybe it's time to resign. He's had the job 2 months, so I completely disagree with things like that. I think that you need to judge him at the end of next season, really, or at Christmas next season. See where he's got Valencia after he's actually had a transfer window to build his squad, like a full summer transfer window. By that is what I mean. And also, to bring this back to Manchester United as well. And I hate to keep going on about him, I hate to seem like I'm slagging him off too much, but talk about Ryan Giggs. Maybe if the Glazers are watching this, or Ed Woodward's watching what's happened to Gary Neville, maybe that's got them thinking, just because they're a Man United legend doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be a fantastic manager straight away. And I think that Gary Neville maybe could have done with a few more years as a coach, as an assistant manager, before he got a big manager's gig. They all should just do what Ruud's doing. Do what Ruud is doing. They're jumping into it too soon. Take your time and then you'll become a great manager. But you never know. Gary Neville may well turn it around and have a great season with Valencia next season. And I hope he does. And finishing on this story as well, quite a sad story really. A legendary Man United fan. He's a man that everyone around Old Trafford seems to know. Everyone that I spoke to seems to be his mate. When he passed away, everyone on Twitter was talking about him, and that is Coco. I saw as well going into Old Trafford yesterday, there were loads of messages scrawled all across walls and stuff like that, and it was absolutely amazing to see. So he did unfortunately pass away recently. Very well known in the Man United community. I'm gutted I never actually got to meet him myself, but he seemed to always have a crowd of people around him, to be honest. And he's one of those people as well where you never really meet him, but if you see him, you're going to recognise him because he was just a proper recognisable figure around Man United, and he's a figure that I'm sure that a lot of people will very much miss. So his funeral's tomorrow, so if you did know him, I'm sure you already have paid all your tributes, but let's get a few more on Twitter as well, because that's always great. Get them in the comments as well. Guys, if you want to comment on anything that I've spoken about there, make sure you do it. Feel free to slag me off if you disagree with me. I can take it. Give this a like, give this a share, give us a subscribe. I've been Gaz on Full Time Devils. See you in a bit.
Good morning everybody, Stephen House and this is Full Time Devils. This is your MUFC Daily. Hot on the heels of last night's emphatic, if unexpected, 3-0 victory over Stoke at Old Trafford. There's absolutely tons of news this morning.